These crocodiles weren't just big. They were monsters. Imagine a world where giant reptiles ruled the land, sea, and sky. A time when life on Earth took on forms that seem almost fantastical by today's standards. This is the Triassic period, an era marked by incredible diversity and strange new species evolving to dominate their respective domains. Among these ancient rulers were enormous crocodilians like Postosuchus and Smilasuchus, which were apex predators on land during this critical phase of Earth's history. Let's be honest. What you're about to see completely changes how you think about the ancestors of modern crocodiles. In the Triassic period, long before the emergence of today's crocodilians, giant reptilian predators like Postosuchus and Smilasuchus ruled the land, showcasing just how diverse and dominant these archosaurs were back then. First off, there's Rudiodon, a creature stretching about 3 meters long, comparable to a small car. This giant crocodile relative didn't just swim, it was also adept at walking on land. Its teeth were sharp and serrated, designed for catching fish and other prey in the Triassic swamps. Can you picture that? And then there's Rudiodon. Imagine a crocodile as long as 2 cars parked end-to-end, with an armor-plated back covered in osteoderms, bony plates embedded directly in its skin. Picture it lunging onto land to snatch prey or diving into the water for fish. Rudiodon was a formidable predator in the late Triassic period, around 230 million years ago, ruling both terrestrial and aquatic realms with its impressive size and armor. But here's where things get wild. Rudiodon wasn't just a hunter, it was a top predator in its ecosystem. And we're not talking about some weak dinosaur. Rudiodon was a massive archosaur, bigger, heavier, and more dangerous than anything else alive at the time in its Triassic world. Now let's talk about Rudiodon. This wasn't quite as large, but it was just as terrifying. Rudiodon had a long snout filled with hundreds of sharp teeth, designed to catch fish in the water. But its real weapon? Its tail. Imagine an alligator-like tail that could snap like lightning and crush bones. But wait, there's more. Another notable predator from this time was Staganolepes, a heavily armored archosaur that lived around 231 to 228 million years ago during the late Triassic. While it couldn't venture far onto land due to its cumbersome body structure, imagine it lurking in shallow waters ready to ambush prey with its powerful jaws. These aren't just big crocodiles. They're evolutionary marvels that thrived and dominated their ecosystems. During the late Triassic period, phytosaurs like Smilasuchus and Roysuckians, such as Postosuchus, lived alongside early dinosaurs, which were much smaller and less imposing at the time. This was a critical era when archosauriforms ruled, setting the stage for later dinosaur dominance in the Jurassic. So, you might be asking yourself, how did the dinosaurs eventually take over and diversify when these giant crocodilians were dominant earlier in their evolutionary history? The archosaur lineage, that includes both crocodilomorphs and dinosaurs, diverged during the Triassic period. During this time, large predators like the Roysuckians ruled the terrestrial ecosystems. However, by the late Triassic, early dinosaur species began to diversify and adapt, eventually outcompeting these earlier archosaur groups as environmental conditions changed, leading to their dominance in the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. That's a great question, and here's the deal. We're about to explore how giant crocodilians ruled during the late Triassic period. We'll look at what made these animals so successful, and why their dominance eventually came to an end with the rise of dinosaurs in the Jurassic. But there's a part that might surprise you. The giant crocodiles like Postosuchus and Smilasuchus lived long before the era of well-known dinosaurs like T. Rex or Triceratops, thriving around 230 to 201 million years ago. Now, let's dive into the specifics of how these creatures lived. First up, Smilasuchus. Its teeth were serrated and curved, ideal for tearing through flesh. And its jaws could generate enormous bite force, stronger than any modern crocodile. Imagine those powerful jaws clamping down on prey. It would feel like being crushed by a car. But here's S where things get even more fascinating. Smilasuchus wasn't just big and strong. It was also an apex predator with keen senses and a sophisticated physiology. Fossilized brain cases indicate that Smilasuchus had sensory organs and neural pathways adapted for hunting and environmental awareness, suggesting advanced capabilities in tracking prey and navigating its aquatic and semi-aquatic habitats. Imagine this creature patrolling ancient riverbanks and lakeshores, using its heightened sensory abilities to outmaneuver and capture prey efficiently. Subject: the Triassic world ruled by giant crocodiles. Next up, Rudiodon. Its armored back wasn't just for protection, it also helped with balance. Imagine Rudiodon standing on 4 legs, shifting its weight as it stalked through dense vegetation along ancient riverbanks. Those huge jaws were perfect for biting and holding onto prey, even when underwater. But here's the twist: Rudiodon didn't just hunt fish. It was an opportunistic predator that could catch a variety of aquatic and semi-aquatic reptiles. Its sharp, robust teeth allowed it to tear flesh and crush bone, making it well adapted for capturing and processing prey such as small crocodilians and other water-dwelling creatures. Picture it lunging out of the water to grab a passing amphibian or diving into shallow waters to ambush unsuspecting reptilian prey. Now, let's talk about Rudiodon. It had an elongated snout filled with hundreds of tiny teeth, perfect for catching fish. Imagine it swimming through murky waters, snapping up anything that came close. But its real weapon, that powerful tail. Picture it lashing out to stun prey before grabbing and dragging it underwater. But there's more. Pseudopalatatus wasn't just a killer, it was also a scavenger. Fossil evidence indicates a diet rich in fish remains, suggesting it would scavenge dead animals as well as hunt live ones. Imagine that powerful tail snapping to break open the bones of its meal. Now let's shift gears and talk about Tugilusuchus. It was built like a tank, with thick skin and robust muscles, designed for crushing anything in its path. Picture it lunging out onto land from the water, using its massive body to pin down prey. Its powerful jaws were equipped with sharp teeth, capable of tearing through tough hides. But here's where things get really interesting. Tugilusuchus wasn't just a land predator, it was equally at home in the water. Imagine it swimming through ancient rivers and lakes, using its robust tail to propel itself forward. Its body was adapted for both terrestrial hunting and diving into aquatic habitats, making it a formidable predator across multiple environments. So we've established that these crocodiles were big, strong, and versatile. But how did they thrive? The answer lies in their environment. During the Triassic period, Earth's climate was warmer than today, with fewer large terrestrial predators competing for resources. These crocodiles filled a niche that no modern creature could, becoming apex predators in a world dominated by archosaurs rather than mammals or other reptilian groups. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. These giant crocodiles like Postosuchus lived alongside early dinosaurs during the late Triassic period. Picture them coexisting in ancient riverbanks and forests around 237 to 201 million years ago, with early dinosaurs scurrying around while the giants dominated the landscape. But the real question is, how did dinosaurs eventually take over? To understand this, we need to look at what made these crocodiles so successful during the Triassic period. They possessed armored skin, powerful jaws, and versatile hunting strategies that allowed them to thrive in diverse environments. However, unlike their later dinosaur contemporaries, these giant crocodiles lived millions of years before dinosaurs like Allosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Brachiosaurus emerged, facing challenges unique to the Triassic landscape without direct competition from large predatory dinosaurs. For example, Smilasuchus thrived because it was an apex predator with few natural enemies in its ecosystem. Its size and strength allowed it to dominate its environment during the late Triassic period, to 201 MYA. But as the climate changed at the end of the Triassic, so did their habitats. Imagine a world where these giants struggled to find enough food or suitable nesting sites due to shifting environmental conditions, making survival more challenging. Meanwhile, early dinosaurs had different survival strategies. They were smaller, faster, and more adaptable, evolving in response to environmental pressures to thrive in diverse ecosystems. During the late Triassic period, large Roysuchians like Postosuchus dominated terrestrial ecosystems rather than giant crocodiles. Dinosaurs like Coelophysis found new niches where they could flourish, as these larger predators eventually went extinct or declined, allowing dinosaurs to diversify and become more successful in various habitats. So, here's the big reveal. These giant crocodiles didn't disappear overnight. Instead, their reign gradually weakened as environmental changes favored other groups, such as early dinosaurs and mammal-like reptiles. Picture a world where the giants struggled while smaller, more adaptable creatures diversified and thrived, eventually outcompeting them for resources. Now let's talk about Rudiodon again. We've established it was an efficient hunter, but its real advantage lay in versatility. It could hunt both on land and in water, giving it a broader range of opportunities to find food. But as the climate changed and habitats shifted during the late Triassic period, this adaptability became crucial for survival. Imagine a scenario where Strabodon and other smaller, faster predators emerged to compete for resources, challenging the dominance of giant amphibians like Pseudopalatatus. As these new competitors thrived, early dinosaur lineages began to diversify and succeed in various niches across the Triassic world. This is where things get really interesting. The giant crocodiles didn't just fade away. They were outcompeted and eventually replaced by a combination of environmental changes and the rise of more adaptable species like early theropod dinosaurs. Imagine the last moments of these giants, struggling against new challenges they couldn't overcome as their dominance crumbled piece by piece, making way for a new era in terrestrial ecosystems. And now, let's talk about Rudiodon one more time. We've discussed its massive size and armored skin, but there's another factor at play: behavior. Picture it hunting in dense vegetation, using intelligence to outmaneuver prey. But imagine a world where this strategy became less effective as competitors like Postosuchus emerged with different tactics, challenging Rudiodon's dominance in the Triassic landscape. As the climate shifted during the late Triassic, Rudiodon faced increasing pressure from emerging terrestrial predators, such as early dinosaurs like Herrerasaurus. Imagine them struggling to maintain their dominance over a changing ecosystem, filled with new competitors and threats they were not equipped to handle. Picture it becoming more and more difficult for these aquatic giants to coexist in an ever-evolving world, dominated by evolving land animals. So here's what nobody tells you. The giant crocodiles of the Triassic didn't just disappear. They were outcompeted and replaced over time due to environmental changes and the rise of more adaptable species like early dinosaurs and archosaurs. Imagine being confronted by one of these monstrous creatures, with their powerful claws and formidable jaws. But then consider how these giants eventually lost their dominance as ecosystems shifted and new competitors emerged, marking a pivotal transition in Earth's history. But there's still more to explore. While we've discussed the giant archosaurs like Postosuchus and Smilosuchus dominating the Triassic period, let's consider the early dinosaurs evolving alongside these apex predators. Picture them developing traits that allowed them to thrive in diverse ecosystems despite the presence of these formidable competitors. By the late Triassic, some dinosaurs had begun to establish themselves as successful inhabitants of various niches, laying the groundwork for their future dominance. So, you see, these giant crocodiles didn't just vanish. They faced a combination of ecological pressures leading to their decline, eventually making way for dinosaurs to dominate. Think about that massive claw again, and consider how such adaptations shaped the rise of terrestrial megafauna on Earth. Imagine being confronted by one of those massive, powerful crocodiles of the Triassic. Creatures like Postosuchus or Smilosuchus that ruled their ecosystems with their sheer size and strength. These apex predators were eventually outcompeted and overshadowed by smaller, more adaptable archosaurs such as early dinosaurs and pterosaurs. This is the story of the Triassic giants, a tale of dominance lost to a changing world that favored new forms of life. And that's why we're here today, to explore this incredible time in Earth's history and understand its profound impact on the evolution of life. Imagine those powerful claws and robust jaws, and consider how these prehistoric predators shaped their ecosystems. During the Triassic period, giant crocodiles like Smilasuchus and Rhesuchus dominated terrestrial environments, setting the stage for future evolutionary developments in dinosaurs and other reptilian lineages. Imagine being stalked by one of these formidable predators, marking the end of an era when giant crocodiles like Smilasuchus ruled supreme. This is the legacy of the late Triassic period, a tale of dominance, competition, and ultimate decline as dinosaurs began to rise to prominence. Think about that claw again. Think about what it means for the future of Earth's apex predators in their time. And remember, this is just one chapter in the grand saga of life on our planet, a story of endless change and adaptation.